What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Emilio in Tennessee. We got Jacob in Wisconsin here to talk a little Packers preseason. As the season gets kicked off tomorrow night, you see here on the eve of the big game. That means absolutely nothing, but I'm so jacked for some football, boys. I don't know about y'all. So tonight we're going to dive in to the top 5 Packers who need to perform in preseason, or maybe the top 5 Packers that you're most excited about watching in the preseason. A little Jets-Packers preview for you guys and gals. We'll hit a little Caleb Williams off the bat, too. He's stinking up the joint. Jacob sent me a couple of clips of that. And then we will also, that'll pretty much cover it. If we have time, I don't know. We might get into a little Isaiah McDuffie chalk talk. We'll see how it goes. But before we do, need y'all to do that YouTube stuff. Hit like, hit subscribe if you're new here. Hey, welcome into PTA. Thanks for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're just fans like you in here talking Packers on a daily basis. We do pregame shows, postgame shows, in-depth analysis, film breakdown, the whole 9 yards. Tomorrow, we will be going live 1 hour before kickoff to give you guys a pregame show, kind of walk you through Twitter, show you all the live shots from the stadium, get you amped up, ready to go for the big game. And then immediately following the game, we will come in with the post-game show and just talk about who maybe might have performed in that match. So again, like I said, if you're looking for that kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified every time we go.
Get ready to go.
Live. There you go. Jacob sent this over earlier, all right, and we'll be brief with it, but I'm excited to show you guys. Caleb Williams is in mid-season form here, and my favorite part of this video, Jacob, we got both of them too, by the way, is the fans' reaction. It's just hilarious to me. So, and you got this off of Facebook, Jacob. If you would pull it up on your phone, and so we can give credit to who this came from on Facebook, but we'll shout it out here in a second. But here we go, guys. This is Caleb Williams in mid-season form.
Oh, come on, man.
Dude, I didn't hear that the first time.
You got to do better than that. We need that drop, don't we? Come on, man.
Come on.
No, listen, I think the second one, it's even better.
Yeah, let's go to the second one real quick. Well, first of all, let's break this down, man. That's what we do here, right? We break down the tape. Sure. So notice, Caleb, how long he holds the football. This happened all year last year. And I know it's camp. I know it's a practice. I got you. But this is what – when people look at the touchdown to interception ratio, they think, oh, no, look how well he's playing, right? It's easy to look at the box score and think, oh, he's playing good. This happened all year long, and the offensive line continued to get blamed for it. So now they revamped the offensive line, and I'm telling you, it's going to end up happening again. So let's play the audio one more time, Jake, and I want to get your take on it, man.
You got to do better than that, Caleb. Oh, come on, man.
It looks like it's censored, too. Like, it keeps cutting out right when the interception happens right there. But anyway, Jacob, where did you find this at, man? Can we give some credit where credit's due here?
Absolutely. So that belongs to a gentleman that goes by Antoine Ivy. I did see him on Facebook. He's got some cool other reels. I just happened to see those. Looks like he must have went to whatever that practice was recently here and decided to put them up. And definitely were not highlights. They look like some lowlights there. But what's weird to me is, like you said, there seems to be no progression or like growth from him in the offseason. The just walking into pass rush, really dancing around, patting the ball. The thing that's most telling to me is he seems so unsure about throwing anything outside. He's looking straight down the middle. He's looking for the dump off. It doesn't look like he's trusting that arm right now. What do you see, Emilio?
Yeah, it's no one's getting open, right, Jacob? I mean, we're asking these wide receivers to do, a crazy job here. But look at it, 1, 2, 3 step hitch, and it's just brutal. I wish my O-line blocked like that in college football, Clay. Come on now, they were holding up. They were holding them up there.
I'm telling you, let's get the audio on this one. This is good audio for you guys and gals too. Y'all ready?
Sack.
You got a lot of time. Sack. Caleb ain't looking good out here today.
Caleb ain't looking good out here today. Yeah, so it's just I don't know, man. You've got to have that internal clock. You've got to be willing to get the ball out on. And listen, Jordan Love struggled with it at times last year. We talked about it. That's one of the big things that stood out about Jordan's game last year is he realized like mid-play he doesn't have his legs with the injuries he was facing, right? And he would get to the check down too late. Now, there was times he played great, right? It's an important aspect of the NFL. If you don't play on time, if you don't play, when they say playing in rhythm, people think it's just hitting your receiver in stride. That's in rhythm. No, it's getting to your side adjustments in a timely manner throughout the course of the progression of the specific play. Read one. Well, first of all, it's pre-snap read, knowing where you're going to look to work or whether you're working half of the field or if you're going through a true progression of a 1 to the 2 to the 3, and then getting there in a timely manner. Sometimes you can go 1, I need to get to the 3 because you recognize what the defense is doing, as opposed to 1, 2, 3. So it's just something that Caleb didn't do well last year. And then again, you see the sack total, you see the interception numbers down, you go, man, he's got a bad offensive line. No. He is holding the ball too long. At one point he was leading the league in sacks of that where he held the ball for over 4 seconds. Guys, that's not a good rep. That's not a positive play there. So, anything else on this, Jacob? You want to hit on? Man, I appreciate you setting them over, man. This was good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's all fun and games, and obviously we're enjoying this right now which is crazy because the Bears, this is, they're so good in the offseason and they've definitely been so improved. But watch the end of this play. After he clearly pats the ball too much, he's afraid to throw the ball. He's not moving well. He takes the sack, but then watch how he ends it. He chucks the ball like a little girl, like just a little, like an 8-year-old boy that's having a hissy fit, and almost at his fellow player. Like he walks off, no confidence, no rolling up the team, no, say, hey guys, come on, let's go get it. He just spikes the ball, runs off the field with his head down. That to me is not a leader. We can listen to Ben Johnson say how he's gonna, had talks with him about his basically his body language. We went through this with Aaron Rodgers. I was very critical of the way that Aaron Rodgers would allow his body, just the way that he would, the rolling his eyes, the breathing hard, the sidelines just looking just absolutely terrible. Like Coach says, terrible body language. It just, to me, is not signs of a maturity or growth from that quarterback position. And I think I saw too old for this somewhere in here. And I completely agree that if they don't start Tyson Bagent at some point, because right now he's clearly the better quarterback. If you look at their AI breakdowns or any sort of summary of their practices, it is clear to anybody that didn't have some sort of real bias for him being the number one pick and being touted as this once in a lifetime generational quarterback. If you just look at the hard X's and O's and the stats, Tyson Bagent's absolutely outperforming him in the offseason right now.
Yeah.
And Emilio, they're not going to play Tyson Bagent either, are they, man? It's not going to happen.
You want Chicago to turn up? I mean, that'll do it right there.
That's the position they put themselves in, right? With taking the number one pick, and once you put them on the field, right, now you can't go. When you go back, now it's the whole team starts questioning: is he the guy, right? So,
and the first comment I was just going to say, Jacob, first comment I saw on there was, and to think we could have had Jaden Daniels. That they're just in shambles. The poor guy's just beating himself up. But looking at this, they're rushing 4. We're keeping 6 in. The back stays in. One dude's not even trying to rush. I mean, basically, it's like a 2-man rush maybe, and you're not in full pads. Like they probably don't want Caleb to look bad, but they're also like, if I'm not going to get to the quarterback, we're going to have to do sprints. I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, and the thing about that too, if you're leaving 6 in on protection, it's one of 2 things. You're either taking a shot play, or you need to get the ball out of your hand. Right. It's one of those things that, okay, we're gonna hold the protection. It might have been pre-snap because they're showing blitz. Okay, you got to know where your hot is. You got to know where the answer to the question lies. Mm-hmm. And you see here, they're in the red zone, so it's not like it's a deep shot play, on an extra protection.
Cover 3 flat, Tampa 2, something like that, because two of the linebackers kind of just sit there, and then they're also carrying, so they're matching, but. You saw him scan from the left side of the field to the right, coming back left, and then he's like, well, now what do I do? And you're already 5 seconds into the play at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at what Coach said just as you were saying that. He doesn't trust his eyes. That's what I noticed most about him, is that he just it's almost like his body doesn't trust that he can fit that ball in, and he's being overly cautious. Now everybody will highlight, well, he had such little interceptions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's afraid to throw the ball.
He needs that VR machine. He needs that VR machine that Jaden Daniels had that got him all those extra reps. He did like thousands of extra reps just taking him on VR. That's what he needs.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so there you go. There's your Chicago Bears update. I'm sure I'll get some hate in the comments on the video we'll post later, but that's okay though. So moving on to tomorrow night. Really excited about the Packers' first preseason game. This tweet came out. I want to give a shout out to our Aaron Rodgers, not the Aaron Rodgers. He sent this over to me in a DM. This came from Max Velocity. And I looked, he's got like, I don't know what it is. It's like, 114,000 followers. So I guess let's see what he does here. What's it say? It says Max Velocity is a meteorologist who provides accurate, honest, and reliable weather forecasts and live streams across the USA. All right. Concerning flooding threat is about to unfold across the Midwest on Saturday and Sunday. Widespread 3 to 6 inches of rain is likely, with localized areas between 6 to 12 inches of rain possible. Turn around, don't drown. You know what I'm saying? And you see Green Bay's kind of in the mid-range. They're probably expecting about 3 inches of rain. So we might get us a little sloppy mess tomorrow. And my question to you guys is, do you put the starters out there if it's piss pouring the rain? What do y'all think?
If it's pee pouring, I'd probably hesitate slightly just because we saw what happened with bad field conditions in Philly, and that absolutely ruined the whole rest of the season. I don't know. I still want them to have a little bit of competition, so I'd say probably a good series or two I'd be comfortable with, but I'd probably focus a lot on just handing that ball off and maybe do a couple, small crossers, something like that. Just get him on the field, test the arm a little bit, get him off. I don't want to see any of that slopping around.
It's funny too, because we always go back and forth. It's like, yeah, man, the starters need time, right?
Yeah.
They need to get out there and get ready, as if it's not going to rain on a regular season. I'm with you, Jacob. I'm looking up and going, all right, boys, if it's really coming down, the field conditions are a little slick. You don't want somebody tearing a quad or pulling a hammy or something out there sliding on the turf. You know what I mean, Emilio?
Yeah. If we get the 6 inches, I'd say we probably can, move past those the starters we were planning on doing. If it's raining, but it's not too bad, the field's still decent, I would still like to get them out there just so we can spin the ball when it's wet out. Just one drive. That's all I want. That's all I asked for beginning of this week before the storm. Give me one drive for the starters and then get them out of there. I like Coach Lynn, though, pregame warm-ups. If it's raining there, you can still get your reps. But it's also, we just want one thud of the pads, one little crack. Just kind of get the hits back. All right, now I'm out of here. Let's get Malik reps. Let's get the backup running backs, all that.
Yeah, one drive and done, Jordan Dixon Reed says. And even if they don't get one drive, Jordan, going out there and dressing, right? Going through that process, getting in the routine of, all right, this is what a game day is going to feel like. The rookies need to feel that, but also the vets need to get back into the swing of things in that regard as well.
I'd hate that even more, right, Clay? If the vets didn't have to dress and then you have everybody else dressing, not that it's terrible. I get it for like the Hall of Fame game or something. I see like Lamar didn't dress, but the process, getting up, you got your noon game, you got a late game. You need to figure out your timing and all of that. I think it's still good for the veterans to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, completely agree. You got anything else, Jacob, on that?
No, but I got to find this Max Velocity guy, figure out a way to follow him, because it's hard to find an honest and accurate meteorologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little BS there, I believe. We'll see, though. I don't know, man.
They
I tell you what,
rain every day down here.
bro. Yeah, I just every morning I don't even check anymore. I'm just like, it's gonna rain. That's what's gonna happen.
It's gonna rain.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at it here, it says Saturday night, and you guys know this is overnight. Mostly cloudy with showers and a few thunderstorms. Storms may contain strong gusty winds as well, 15 mile an hour. Low 68. The chance of rain 60%. Now that's overnight. So throughout the day, you're looking at 10 to 20 mile an hour winds with a 50% chance of rain. So
good kicking practice.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah,
you're right. So there you go. All right, there's your weather update here, courtesy.
Or it'll be our win that, like Justin Fields when he did the slide through the water when they beat San Fran. That could be our
Everybody was so sold on Justin Fields. He was the guy.
Or was it just the fact that their stadium just has terribly poor drainage and they couldn't get all the water out of there, and Lambeau is just pristine and they got all that figured out already?
Could have been that as well. Well, Jacob, you had a great topic that you wanted to hit on tonight. You said top 5 Packers who need to perform in preseason. And again, like I said at the top of the hour, whether they need to perform or maybe it could be top 5 players that you're looking forward to seeing, I like Jacob's approach. So Jacob, if you want to kind of start this conversation and we'll talk about some of the players that probably need to. I've got access to the depth chart. right? Both offense and defense. And we've also got PFF grades from last year. If you need me to pull either of those up, just let me know.
Yeah. So when I started it, I thought it'd be really easy. I ended up going with, I thought I'd have 5 individual players that I was worried about. And then it kind of shifted towards, I've got 9 at least situations / player groups where I want to see how they're going to play out. So I don't have to list all 9, but I just wondered kind of what you guys would think. I could rapid fire them off and then see if you want to go
Let's go one at a time. You know,
all right. The first one to me is the running back room in general, with the mix of Wilson, Brooks, and Lloyd. Just how that's gonna, these freaking streamers, man, how that's gonna pan out. Obviously, with the injury to Lloyd, we kind of figured that one's gonna be put on ice. Wilson has a slight injury, but probably is gonna be able to come and do some playing time. And then Chris Brooks, just whether or not he's gonna solidify being that third and final running back, or if he's gonna fall into the practice squad kind of thing. To me, I don't really quite know how it's gonna shake out, and I am starting to get a little nervous, mainly for Marshawn Lloyd, because I just feel like the guy can't catch a break. And the more and more we see of Wilson and Brooks, the more I just feel like that Coach LaFleur is going to say, look, I know what I got in these guys, and it's quite good. We've highlighted, as you're showing here, Emmanuel Wilson may be one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated backup for sure in the league, I think. What are your thoughts on the running back room?
Yeah, it's interesting because is Marshawn Lloyd actually healthy? Is he going to be willing? He's not going to be able to play, right? Am I thinking right?
I think he's playing this game.
Yeah. So, and listen, he's not battling for a roster spot too. So really what it's going to come down to is Chris Brooks, Izzy, Amar Johnson. Those are the 3 that I'd be really trying to go, okay, are there one of these 3 that's worth carrying as a 4th running back? That's kind of how I'm looking at it. And it's going to come down to a little bit of that, that pass blocking too. How quickly can Izzy pick up the pass blocking and know exactly where to be? And it's not like LaFleur is going to go out there and roll his whole offense out there either. You probably want to put these guys in a couple of situations where look at it this way. Get Sean Clifford and Taylor Elgersmer out there with significant reps to decide who's going to be your practice squad quarterback. And in the process, rotate these running backs in to see how well they can pass pro. Does that make sense, Emilio?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we have to, because you're going to have different combinations with, quarterbacks and running backs on the field, but you want to see if each of them can do that. I know Josh Jacobs was kind of talking about how Chris Brooks can do it all. He's kind of that utility knife back there. So I think it really is going to be the big 3 are going to be Israel, Lamar, and Jalen. I think they're going to get a lot of carries. I think it's going to be, a lot of back and forth with them just to see what we have, because you got to build out that practice squad. What's a 16-man practice squad? So you have a big roster. You got to make sure you're building out and having backups ready to go.
And we know running backs get banged up really, really quick throughout the NFL. Coach Lynn says, can Izzy beat out Brooks? Probably not. What do you think, Jacob, of those 3 running backs, Chris Brooks, Izzy, or Amar Johnson? Who would you say, yeah, I'd put my money on that guy to be the 4th back?
I mean, I think that Amar and Izzy would have to do something very spectacular. I mean, I'm talking very spectacular in multiple games to surpass Chris Brooks. And that's where I kind of was, again, more just the running back battle as to the hierarchy of the 1, 2, 3. And we can throw in Lloyd if that gets to that point. But that to me was most it's got to be Chris Brooks, right? I mean, the way Matt LaFleur praises him in the press conferences and says that it's not just him as a running back. He's really great at pass protection. You can catch the ball out of the backfield. He seems like he put him in really key situations and very key games. So to me, Izzy and Amar would have to absolutely just have some crazy performance to, I think, shake up that depth chart.
No block, no rock.
I think it's
the last 2 columns right there. 67 pass blocking, 63 run blocking. They ask him to do everything. He's the one that'll lead for Josh Jacobs. He's the one that's going to pick up that stunt, D tackle, whatever. He's willing, right? He's willing and able to. That's key.
Yeah. And if you want to get Josh Jacobs a spell out of there, right? Get him a breather. You can put Chris Brooks in as a sidecar left, and then motion Jaden Reed or Savion, whoever it is, into the backfield. Let Chris Brooks lead as that H-back, and you're off and running.
And still the threat of potentially him running it, hand it off, read option to him, and then maybe we pitch to Jaden Reed, whatever. Matt can get crazy.
As Coach Lynn says here, Brooks can sift block it also. Hey, if you want to run split zone, split flow.
He can block.
Yeah. Seriously, when we signed him, Matt LaFleur was like, this guy can do it all. He can run the rock. We've seen that with his yards per carry, right? Coming onto the Packers roster. And then he said he can pass pro and he can catch ball a backfield. And I'm going, this is a practice squad guy, Matt. Come on, you're not fooling anybody. Lo and behold, he had significant snaps last year, man. So, all right. Who's up next, Jake? It looks like he had 199 snaps last year. So yeah, almost.
It was more than I thought. Yeah.
Definitely.
I actually saw that Coach highlighted this. My other battle that I'm going to be watching very intently is the Fitzpatrick versus Sims, that battle. And the whole scenario, is there even going to be a third when we try to hit that 53-man roster? I would argue that I really fell in love with Ben Sims. Really like the way that I think that he doesn't get enough credit for being more of like an agile kind of decent RAS, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Mr. Fitzpatrick. Bigger guys than I think they get credit for. And both of them, I'd argue down the stretch, were pretty, not necessarily productive, but trustworthy. We know what we had in Tucker Kraft. I mean, the guy is just an absolute stud. I don't know if we know exactly what we have in Musgrave, but I have still a lot of hopes for him and his ceiling raising quite a bit. And it would just be interesting to know who that solidified third stringer is and what his role is on this team. And I really want to see how Fitzpatrick and Sims ballot it out. What do you think, Emilio?
Man, tight end's going to be tough because I think Ben Sims has been stepping his game up, but they just love John Fitzpatrick. I'd like to see Luke out there to throw a couple reps, get his legs loose. I think they're going to try to ease off Tucker, and we just need to see what else is there. Messiah, is he going to be just a big blocker? That's cool, but we need to know what he is, and I think that we'll be able to get that, but I want to see, 12 personnel, 21. I want to see Matt kind of working through it, not going too crazy, even if we're just running ISOs or, a off tackle, whatever we're doing. But I want to see everybody out there. Let's see what they can kind of do. And I think I would go with Ben Sims currently.
Yeah, and I think from a personal standpoint, I like Ben Sims more than Fitzpatrick. But like what Jacob was saying, I want to say it was a playoff game. They deactivated Sims and they activated Fitzpatrick. And I was like, whoa, I missed something here. So maybe it was just the matchup for that game. And the thing that pops off the screen here is his 60.7 run block, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember showing a play, I believe it was against the 49ers, it might have been, where it was a goal line situation and they put him in the wing and he smacked a linebacker right in the damn mouth. It was like, oh, okay, that's what Fitzpatrick does. So maybe he is that guy, can play a little wing if you want to go into like a 13 set or something and really go heavy. You never know. We may press into that a little bit as well. So, and the other thing too, Jacob, Emilio kind of hit on, I want to get your take on this and we'll move on to your next one. Musgrave, if you were the head coach, how much would you play him tomorrow?
Oh, if with the weather, the way we think it may be, minimal snaps. Very minimal. I'd maybe do like 5 snaps for him just to get him out there, get him into kind of not football necessarily speed, but just shake off some of the dust. I wouldn't want to force it though with him.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's going to be the Fitzpatrick, Sims, Lumpkin, Swinton, show tomorrow, I believe. So we'll see though. I want to see Musgrave kind of create a little momentum going into the season, but at the same time, if he were to go out there in the rain and him, pull a muscle or something and be questionable for week one, that would really frustrate the heck out of me. So, all right, next position, Jacob, what we got, man?
Yeah, so like I said, I've got a few of them, and I'm trying to think of what's the most. All right, the edge/D end room, and I think the two that are really on the bubble would be Kingsley Enagbare and Deslin Alexander. I feel like if he plays really, really well, and if Kingsley, for whatever reason, just doesn't seem like he's showing out, that I just feel like there could be some sort of maybe kind of a surprise. I don't know about Aaron Mosby. I don't know if he'd overtake him, but I just think that between Mosby, Enagbare, and Deslin Alexander, I just think one of those, I just think there might be a surprise in the room. And I always think that like every year we think we got it nailed. And then there's probably 2 or 3 surprises where we're just like, oh, okay. Like they completely did what consensus was. I've been seeing a lot of people talk that Deslin Alexander's been flashing at camp. I even know that I think Tim's wife brought it up to him and said, like, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's Deslin Alexander kind of thing. And I have seen some other beat reporters kind of mentioning that he's been flashing as well. I haven't heard anything from Kingsley Enagbare. Have you guys?
Not much, no. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was watching the McDuffie tape earlier, I watched something like, I don't know, 60 or 70 plays a couple times. And he was really flashing on the screen. Like there was a couple times where you just seen him mauling guys in the run game, not necessarily the ball carrier, but just, I mean, I'm talking about creating havoc against the run. Now you look at the PFF grade here, obviously his run defense 66.6, not like over the moon, but it was definitely what he did the best last year, which maybe, Jacob, that's why we're a little more down on him than the Packers coaching staff is because we, our raw eye probably didn't catch that as often until you really get in and watch the box cam a little bit more. But I mean, he had 538 snaps last year. They love that dude. I want to see what I would like to see here. If you look at Brenton Cox Jr., right? He only had 187 snaps. I want to see him and Enigbare flip. That's me personally. I want to see what we truly have in Brenton Cox Jr. And it's crazy, too, because his pass rush grade's only a 66.4. However, he led the team in pressure percentage. Gary was right behind him in pressure percentage. He had far more pressures than Brenton Cox Jr., but the pressure rate was slightly higher for Brenton Cox Jr., and both of them hovering around a 66 pass rush grade, which cracks me up. It does. I ain't gonna lie. So I would like to see those two numbers flip personally. Deslin Alexander, when Tim's shown the tape or the footage from camp practice, it does look like he's kind of flashing a little bit, right? In some of the drills that you see, like, hey, who is that dude right there? So I don't know. How do you feel about it, Amelia? And Aaron Mosby's the one that, to me, is starting to feel like I don't see him making this roster this year because he got some significant play time last year. I mean, 150 reps. You're talking about Aaron Mosby getting almost as many snaps as Brenton Cox Jr. Me don't like you that, Jan. Me don't like you that at all.
Yeah, that's kind of tough. I was looking. Do you have the how many did we go in with Edge? 6, right? On the roster, I think.
I'll pull it up. Keep talking.
Because I think, like you've been saying, Aaron Mosby is on the bubble. I like Alexander. I think he's going to be more of a practice squad kind of guy. Maybe you bring Aaron Mosby and Alexander back. I think it's got to be Rashawn Brenton, Kingsley, Elvian, Oliver, and Sorrell. I'm excited to see what Sorrell can do out there.
Oh, yeah.
I really am. I think that's going to be one key to this game. I want to see him get upfield. I want to see him just, get his – I remember watching his tape. His hands are really good. He has really good hands. Right. He's able to extend. He's able to get separation. So I want to kind of see that get to work. But they're going to get reps to all these guys. I would think that Sorrell has a good shot, and that's the toss-up between Alexander and Mosby.
That number was 6, Emilio. We broke camp with 6. And shout out to Clint for the super chat here. Says PTA is number 1. Thank you so much, Clint. We appreciate you, man, being generous in here. And Johnny Storm said, yo, what's up from Australia? This is my first time watching the NFL, so I'm looking for a team to be a fan of. Buddy, you are in the right place, let me tell you. Give the Packers a shot. And I want to challenge you to do something tonight. Go to YouTube tonight and just type in Packers Legacy, all right? And it's going to take you to the Packers YouTube channel, all right? And there's going to be a series of like 6 or 7 episodes, I believe it is. Start with the very first one, okay? Watch that very first episode, and you're going to hear about the historical aspect of the Packers and just how they were formed, the only publicly owned franchise in all of sports, not just the NFL. So it's kind of owned by the fans type deal. And then try to find a documentary on Lambeau Field and learn about the weather in Green Bay and how often you get the snow games we play outside while everybody else's pansy asses are building domes and everything. We're still playing big boy football up there. So appreciate you jumping in here from Australia, man. We really appreciate it. And again, Clint, thank you for that super chat. That's right. All right. Anything else on that, Jacob? And I echo what Emilio just said, man. Baron Sorrell, give me 20 snaps tomorrow at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So who would your 6 be if you had to pick right now? So, obviously Gary Cox, Vanessa, Sorrell. You'd have to probably say Kingsley.
2 are out are Mosby and Alexander would be me.
Yeah. Because it's going to come down to Colin Oliver whether or not he's healthy for week 1, right? I think there's a chance he goes on PUP, and we always talk about this, that it kind of shapes that initial roster. So I would go Rashawn Gary, Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox Jr., Kingsley Enigbare, right? He'll drop that down for me. He says Kingsley's out. Chris M. Wow, okay. Kingsley Enigbare, drop that comment. There you go. Baron Sorrell would be 5. So if Colin Oliver's healthy, obviously he would be 6. After that, I honestly think Aaron Mosby would get the nod over Alexander. I could be wrong. I think they probably feel like they could put Alexander on the practice squad and keep them both. And really, that's what it comes down to, guys. We're talking about a 53-man roster, and it comes down to what would it be, a 69-man roster is really what it is. So,
and then 70 with the international, right? So we got the one extra.
And I think that's going to go to the kicker most likely, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is the? Do you remember the age limit on the practice squad? Because Deslin was 27.1. I want to say it's 28. Or no, you have the veterans now after they updated it, right? Okay.
Yeah, I want to say there's 10 regular practice squad spots. You guys correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I may have this completely screwed up. I think there's 10 regular practice squad spots, and then you can have 6 veterans. I think that's the way I understood it. It might be flipped though.
I can't remember that. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. So that's what it really comes down to is you're trying to keep as many of these guys as you possibly can. And in some cases, you may look up and go, he's the better player, and he'll probably be active more. But the initial 53, we want to keep them both. Probably want to have this guy on the roster just to make sure we keep them both. So I can see that for sure. But all right, next position, Jacob. I'm loving this conversation, man. This is fun.
So what do you think about the last safety position being a battle between Zane, Keaton, and Omar Brown? I know Clayton's a little less excited about Omar Brown. You guys know how much we all loved Keaton Oladapo. Haven't gotten to see as much from him as I would have liked to, obviously. And then Mr. Zane Anderson, kind of like Emmanuel Wilson, didn't get a lot of playing time, but when he did, boy, did he make the most of it, grading out again in the 80s. What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, for me, it comes down to whether you want to count Javon Bullard as a safety or not. You guys know how I feel. I think he's a corner, and the reason he's not listed with the safeties here is because he played the majority of his snaps as the slot corner last year, if I'm understanding correctly. Now, with that being said, we broke camp with 5 last year, but one of those 5s was Javon Bullard, right? So in the Packers, I'm pretty sure on their website, they still have him listed as a safety. So it really comes back to the cornerback room. Here's what it comes down to, not to convolute it too much, but if we add cornerbacks to this list, you're keeping 10 guys off this list right here. That's what it comes down to, okay? Whether you count, Javon as a safety or not. So in the safety room, I would keep the 5 that we had listed here, right? I would keep all 5 of these if I could, and I would count Javon Bullard as a corner. So if I drop the safeties off this list, and we broke camp last year with Javon Bullard as a safety, we broke camp with 5 more cornerbacks, okay? So with that being said, who would be the 5 cornerbacks? It'd be Carrington, Keyshawn, Nate Hobbs, Javon Bullard, and you got one more. It's going to be Corey Ballantyne, Kamal Haddon, Kalen King, Bo Melton. I'm pressing in the bowl right now. So I think it might go that route. And then you keep Omar Brown. Now you got to ask yourself that whole 69-man roster, 70-man roster, whatever you want to call it, question. Can you potentially get Omar Brown on the practice squad? He was available, last year. We signed him off the scrap heap. He was a 6th-round pick. No, he wasn't. That was Kamal Haddon. But he was on the scrap heap. We signed him. Obviously, no one else had him on their practice squad. So it feels to me like you could get Omar Brown on the practice squad and then maybe carry 2 of those corners, one of which would be – 6 corners, 2 extra, with one of those being Javon Bullard. If that's the case, maybe like a Kalen King or if a Micah Robinson or somebody flashes. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
You go ahead, Emilio.
I think that's a good breakdown. I think that, like X was saying in his interview, we have a safety room that can do a lot of different stuff. He was talking about Bull, being able to play in the nickel, potentially dime, going up and playing free, playing box, all that. So I think that they're super happy with that. I really think the battle is in that corner room. But Bull's making it no matter what, right? X is making it. Evan's going to make it. Keaton, I really do think he's getting better. We just need to get more reps to him.
Emilio, isn't it crazy that I forget that he graded out as almost a 73
right
in that rookie year? Granted, I mean, he's got almost just under 70 snaps, but yeah. That's still impressive, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, it's not like 20 snaps. You know what I mean?
Right. And the preseason is going to tell you a lot this year. I mean, he's going to get some actual game reps early in the game rather than 4th quarter, whatever. But being able to do well in those 70 snaps, and that's check in the box. So Zane, I think we have to keep him around for special teams. He just knows it. He's the ace back there. We need to make sure he's protecting Wheelan. And Omar Brown keeps showing up. You have a spot on the team if you can play specials and you're able to rotate in potentially if there's an injury, you got to be ready to go. and know the defense, know what they're asking you.
Yeah. I think that, like Coach Lynn says, as you were just basically highlighting, Amelia, he said Zane is the personal protector on the punt team, so maybe he makes it just because of that alone. And just also, you know that you got a pretty high ceiling in that depth room there. But it is, I tell you what, I am probably most excited if I had to pick one single player to watch how they perform. I think it might be Ketan Oladapo, like you said, just for the fact that we haven't seen a ton, and we finally will probably, hopefully, get to see him with, you know, a little higher level of competition and for longer and more snaps.
Such a banger, man. I wish we could play it longer.
I know it. AFAM in the chat says Zane is.
Get ready to go.
There you go. All right. You heard it here. You heard it from a fan right here.
Yeah.
Next position, gang. What are we thinking here, Jacob? What you got?
So, what do you guys think about Jacob Monk? Is there any chance that you see him not making this team? And specifically the battle that I was looking at, because it's obviously different positions, but that second/third string center, I'm starting to get a little nervous about. I think that do you think we'd all agree that probably Sean Ryan has the backup center position? But
that's how I feel, Jacob. I agree with you there, man.
What happens if, God forbid, something happens to two centers and we have to throw Monk out there? Do you think they feel comfortable with Monk, that his spot on this team is solidified as that kind of interior backup piece? And then you throw in the hitch of Morgan and Melton both not really finding a for sure starting spot. Does that, you know, we're not going to lose those guys, that's for sure. But do you see any other like resurgence of a different player that maybe we're not thinking of pushing a guy like Monk off of this team?
It's a great question. I haven't even thought about it. I just kind of felt like he was a slam dunk to make the roster, but you make great points, man. It's not like, I mean, unless it's something, Jacob, that we're overlooking where the team's like, oh, we feel great about Monk at backup center. We're just trying to try a bunch of other guys just to make sure, you know. But to me, I see what you're saying, man, because if Sean Ryan truly is the backup and that's not just this, hey, let's try him out and continue to rotate him through, it did seem like last year, I think it was in the playoff game, right, when Josh Myers went down, they actually kicked Sean Ryan to center. Am I thinking right, Amelia? Wasn't that how that went? Am I thinking right?
I believe so.
Jeez.
Let's see if it shows it here. Sometimes it'll show, it's just saying O-line, so it doesn't.
So, Emilio, Dennis Shook's taking a little pot shot on you here.
Yeah.
So I can see Glover having a big year.
He will. He will. He's going to be having a big year in rehab. Don't worry. He'll be coming back.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. Well, Chris the Casual End says, you know, Monk has showed what exactly? And, you know, we never want to be too harsh on players here, but we always say if you see something, say something. I haven't seen as many flashes as I would have hoped from Mr. Jacob Monk at this point.
Hey, he's on special teams, baby. 43 snaps on field goals and extra points. Like, I don't mean to laugh, but I mean it's a valid point. And the way people talked about him last year going into camp was like, man, the Packers really like this guy, right?
What about JJ?
Wasn't he like a 4-year captain or something? Am I thinking right?
At Duke, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I don't know, man. And Coach Lynn says, I have not seen anything from Monk yet in training camp. I will say this, listening to Wildy and Tausch, and when Wildy has been over at camp, at least earlier during the OTAs, he pointed out, you see the offensive line together and you see Monk, you go, man, one of these guys don't look like they're big enough to belong. You know, he just kind of looks like a smaller cat. So
Joseph right here, that's his comment.
Yeah, perfect, Joseph. Thank you. That's exactly what Wildy said. So I don't know, man. That's a great question. So do you think?
I think by the time we get to third center, I think Zach Tom's coming to center, and we're putting Belton and Morgan out there, and we're spreading out the first round.
But again, that to me would make more sense than that they would be okay with letting Monk. You know, if they had to make, if they really say they really like Telfort, or you know, even somebody that we're not thinking like Banks or something like that.
Right.
Not Aaron Banks.
We got to keep 10 out of tackles, guards, and center.
Last year we broke camp. Offensive line, but 10. We
10?
had 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we kept 10, let's count them off here. Zach Tom, Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins, Aaron Banks, Sean Ryan, Jordan Morgan. I about said Travis Glover. I apologize.
That's okay.
That's 7, right? That's all I'm Anthony Belton would be 8, right?
Yep.
So
there's
8,
2 spots probably.
I think Donovan Jennings still has a shot, right?
That's a guy they've been really trying to force into that center row. Now, don't get me wrong, he's snapping the ball like I would. He's airmailing that thing, right? Yeah. So you got 2 spots left. It kind of feels like Jacob Monk will be a slam dunk for one of those spots now that Travis Glover's down.
Unless they're looking for a tackle.
What about Tyler Cooper, maybe?
I was also thinking Tyler Cooper maybe could show something. Obviously, Williams isn't going to be much here, but I have you heard anything about Brant Banks?
No.
I haven't heard anything. So I
only remember what it was. Banks lined up next to each other one time. It was like the bank side of the line or whatever, where they had Aaron and then Brant right next to each other, something like that. But that's my only thing. If Brant's a tackle and they're looking for that, I mean, Kadeem Telford can play tackle too, but he's probably going to be making. I mean, that's tough. Or you say, hey, I'm going in with 9, and you need another spot somewhere else. You slide a couple of these guys to the practice squad, and you bring them back up once you get that taken care of.
See, that's what I thought was more of a realistic thing. Like, if we did need to get another cornerback, obviously we know how many wide receivers everybody wishes we could keep. If the tight ends, if we only break with 2, you know what I'm saying? There is some puzzle pieces that we could move around, and I would argue that probably the back end of that offensive line room, I don't know if there's anybody that wouldn't make the practice squad. You know what I mean? That would get snatched by. I don't think anybody's looking after Monk or JJ Lipe or Cooper, maybe Cooper, but
yeah. The one thing that kind of grabs my attention with Jacob Monk, I was just sitting there thinking, do you try to kick him over the practice squad and play at a numbers game? Carry 9, like you guys said, stash 3 of these guys on the practice squad, and you can just activate, as you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you need them. But him being a 5th round pick,
yeah.
When I look at that stuff, guys, you may look at it and go, oh, well, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody will sign him. If the Packers took him in the 5th round, it probably means, well, first of all, they had at least a 5th round grade on him, maybe even higher, which means other teams may have had a 5th round grade on him, and they may find themselves. I mean, we see the injuries across the league right now in preseason. It's absolutely insane how many guys are getting hurt. So what these GMs do, as soon as their roster gets thinned out a little bit with injuries, if you're one of those guys that gets bitten by the injury bug, or one of those teams rather, you immediately go back to your draft board and you're like, okay, who were we high on this draft? All right. Are any of those guys available? Oh, look, here's Monk. We had a 5th round grade on him and he's on a practice squad. They'll swoop in and take him. Right. So that's why, once you get outside like the 4th round, you think, okay, is it really a big deal to keep him? It is. And I think it's important to understand too, that he's going through his 2nd full off season. Mm-hmm. So he probably understands the scheme at least more than someone you bring in off the street. That makes sense. So,
yeah. And I mean, 6'3", 230, I mean, 320. He's not a tiny guy. I mean,
even if he's 6'2", I mean, that's not horrible, right?
And I think what Wildy was saying was like, we made a shift this year. Many people didn't catch this, but the Packers made a shift and they went for bigger offensive linemen. You could tell that they're pressing into what Philly does, trying to play that bully ball, right? And I think that's why it's like, think about it. You line those guys up. Let's do it this way. Let's say he is 6'2", because we know how PFF sometimes, exaggerates and stuff. Rasheed Walker, the left tackle, right? 6'6". Okay. Left guard, Aaron Banks, 6'5". I think they actually had him listed at 6'6" on some sides. Elton Jenkins, your center, 6'5", right? And then right guard, where are you at? Let's say it's Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan's 6'5". Zach Tom is another smaller guy. I say he's 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
So see how he is truly 6'2". You look at that and go, holy cow! Like that guy's kind of small. So
right.
But anyway, there you go. There's your offensive line. All right, that's going to do it for hour 1. For those of you listening on the pod, we'll see you on the other side for hour 2. We'll wrap up this conversation if we have time, or we can continue on with it. If we have time, we'll get into some Isaiah McDuffie chalk talk. But we'll see y'all on the other side. We appreciate you.
For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome into our
in a dumpster.
Jacob, you got any other positions you want to hit, man?
I mean, yeah, that was 5, but
but I do have some other ones that I would like to talk about.
It's cool. We could keep going, man. This is the stuff you want to talk about right now for sure.
Well, we kind of gently went into the topic, but basically who's getting that last cornerback position between Melton, King, and Ballin. And I listened to Wes Hodkowitz and Mike Spofford today, and they were saying that it's Ballentine that this whole time.
Really?
We've been saying Valentine and Ballentine, but apparently it's Ballentine. Now, I don't know if that's right, but Max Spofford, he stood on business. He said,
is it Valentine too?
No.
I know this. If Spofford's standing on business, I ain't gonna question it. That man, it's an intimidating cat, right?
Valentine. Yeah. I like it.
He looks like the type of guy you think. What are you saying, Clay? He looks like a tough guy. No, he looks like the type of guy that just make a phone call and you disappear. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's if you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have thought, like much like Clayton had said, the Bo Melton thing, that's just a one last ditch effort to try to give him some dignity and just not cut him outright. I really am starting to think that Bo Melton is going to be an NFL cornerback and could possibly see some playing time. Again, that might be my most intriguing thing besides Katana Oladapo is to see if they throw Bo Melton out there, let him strap up. Even like, we talked about the elements maybe being a concern. All right, let's not play Valentine. Let's not play Nixon. Obviously, Hobbs isn't going to play. Let's throw Bo Melton out, CB1 against the Jets. Throw him on Garrett Wilson if they play him. It sounds like Fields is going to play, so I would assume they'd have Garrett out there. Put him out there. Let's see what happens, especially with some odd footing. You want to see how he reacts to that, some adversity. To me, I would love to see him make this team. What do you guys think? I really do think he has a chance.
You guys know this. It's probably going to be my worst take of the year. Was when they moved him to corner. I was the very first one that was like, boys, he's probably gone. Hey guy, this is your last shot to make the roster. And then he comes out in camp and just looks strong. Yep. And you guys don't forget, undrafted free agent, Savon Williams, one of the all-time greats in Green Bay, in my opinion. I think that dude, I think there was a case to be made for Savon to eventually be in the Packer Hall of Fame. I mean, he got a ring. He was dominant in that playoff run where he got the pick 6 in Atlanta where they ended up winning the Super Bowl. Solid player. Another one, just like Bo Melton, Sam Shields, 4.3 40, receiver at Miami. They converted him over to safety or over to corner. So there's precedent. There's precedent for it, man. And it looks like the chat agrees. Like it feels like it, Jacob. He's a slam dunk. Bo Melton's gonna be a slam dunk for the roster if he stays healthy, of course.
And you add in the added special teams help that he does. Probably our best gunner, right?
It's exactly it. I was going to say that's the multi-tool special right there. The fact that he can play all three phases. He's on special team or defense that they're calling it. He's on defense, and he can go in and play receiver for a pinch. Shoot, I mean, even if they bring him in play corner this game, he might still get a couple reps at receiver just to make sure he's still got it and doesn't get rusty.
No, Travis Hunter, who?
Yeah, exactly.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
I hope he makes the roster, man. Just telling you.
Absolutely. Yep.
His reaction to Emilio screaming that at him at the Tennessee game when they were loading up on the bus and him going.
He literally turned all the way back around to point that one out. Yeah. I was hyped, Jacob. I was hyped.
That's awesome.
He's a good dude. All right. What else we got, Jacob?
Well, this was what I was supposed to do. One individual player. I only had one where I could narrow it down. Christian Welch. Is he going to make this team? Is there any snowball's chance in hell? I think that if there's any type of injury, that's his green light. But the way things are now, barring injury, I just don't know how they slip him on for the second year in a row, even though I do believe he deserves a spot if the cards were stacked a little differently.
Yeah, Emilio, let's talk about it, man. Linebacker last year, we broke camp with 5. It was Quay, Isaiah McDuffie, Eric Wilson, Adrian Cooper, Tyron Hopper. Eric Wilson is now gone, right? So who's going to be that 5th backer? If we look at the roster here, Adrian Cooper, Tyron Hopper, Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie. I'm keeping Isaiah Simmons over Christian Welch. That's just me. And you keep in mind, too, with Isaiah Simmons, the reason he is so interesting, and it's not going to show here.
Round 1, pick 8.
Yep.
I was trying to find his special teams grade. It's not. Let's see if it's going to pull it up in a separate window. No, maybe not. I want to say his special teams grade was pretty good last year. Of course, they're going to give us all the same thing, just in a different format. I want to say he graded out in like the 80s special teams or something.
Did
so,
he?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. So if that's the case and he continues, I mean, you're talking about this special teams unit really, really improving. I know the question was about Christian Welch, but to me, the special teams value in Isaiah Simmons, what it comes down to, remember, run it through the filter of the 70-man roster. Which one makes it to the practice squad, Christian Welch or Isaiah Simmons? I think it'd be Christian Welch. That would make it to the practice squad.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys know I like Christian Welch. Isn't he a hometown guy too, like from Wisconsin, if I remember correctly? So that's a really, really cool story there as well. What do you think, Emilio? Would you keep Christian Welch or Isaiah Simmons?
I feel like it's got to be Isaiah Simmons. Though I'm excited to see Dumas Johnson, see what he can do out there. I do think that there's a little bit of a battle there in the linebacker spot that's not set in stone. You can still make your name heard, and Rich does like the special teamers of that linebacker kind of build. We need a little bit bigger than a cornerback or a safety. We need a couple of those guys that are going to stick their nose in it on the kickoff and punt coverage, stuff like that. So I would say Isaiah Simmons at the moment, but I also am excited for JDJ to see what happens.
Man, I'll tell you what though, United Bates, aka Jamie, coming in with the info here. He says that 88.2 PFF grade for special teams last year for Mr. Isaiah Simmons.
Heard it from a fan right here.
That he's on the team. Sign him right up.
Gotta be, yeah. So that's the route I would go. Now, would they try to make a case to carry 6 and 1 be Christian Welch? I just don't see that happening. I think they would rather carry an extra receiver or maybe an extra corner type thing.
And if you just take those top 5, Clay, how much speed is in that group of 5 players right there, speed-wise?
Yeah.
Linebacking crew.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about RAS is through the roof, man. Edgerrin Cooper, 9 in the 9s, right? I want to say Tyron Hopper, did he not run like a 4.40 or something crazy? Am I thinking right?
Let us know, Bates.
I'm pretty sure he's fast. I'm pretty sure I would say 4 out of the 5 are all 9 RASs in there.
Yeah, Bates, get us his RAS, man, the 40-yard dash if you can. Jamie, look that up.
McDuffie might be the only one that's not a 9 or higher RAS.
Yeah, because I know Edgerrin Cooper 9+, Quay Walker 9+, Isaiah Simmons 9+. I mean it's wild, man, wild to think about. So, anything else on the linebacker room as we wait on Bates to come in with the 40-yard dash? 4.68. Okay, there you go.
That's not terrible, but I thought he was a little quicker for sure. But that's probably why he fell a little bit, because that is a little slow nowadays.
We had him significantly lower on our board than Goody did. Obviously, Goody had a 3rd-round grade on him. So
that's why.
Yep.
There we go.
Bates here. Packers have allegedly timed him closer to 4 or 5.
That's where I got Goody talking about that. Yeah. Go ahead, Amelia. I'm sorry, man.
No. I was just going to say maybe he's a little tight for the pro day and the RAS and everything, but that's exactly where you must have got it from, Clay.
All right.
And Respect Orange just said he had a 7.42 RAS, so not anything crazy, but definitely
he would have got a point.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more, man. So
this one we've kind of talked about recently, well, quite a bit. That final wide receiver spot between maybe Heath and Hardman. However, I put an asterisk and I put Wicks as well. Not that he's not going to make the team, not that he's, going to get cut, nothing like that. But apparently he's been kind of down in the dumps. I don't know if you've listened to a couple of people have actually said that at one point. I can't remember who it was. If it was Bo or one of the other players walked up to him, maybe it was Bird or something, and said, "Hey man, I need to see you smile." Like Romeo. That's what it was. And when Romeo Dobbs is telling you that you need to smile more, that means that you probably, maybe look a little gloom.
Need to smile more.
That perked up to me because I remember when Wicks first came out, and there was a lot of uneasiness with him. I'll never forget when he was walking off the sidelines after missing a play or whatever he did, and Aaron Jones literally grabbed his head and held his head up and like basically dusted him off and said, "Come on, man, like get back to work here." And I'm having a sneaking suspicion that guy maybe battles some interior mental stuff. Like, I'm not putting that on him. I'm just saying that maybe some confidence is more what I'm looking at right now. And now the fact that he's dealing with some injuries feels like he's behind the 8 ball. He's watching all his friends, his teammates go out there and progressing each day in practice. Now getting into the preseason games. I am worried about his confidence level and him not carrying that baggage into the regular season. Now, that being said, I think it does come down between Heath and Hardman, and that to me is got to be one of the hardest cuts to make because they're just so different from what they bring to the team, and they both are really good at different avenues. Obviously, with Hardman being kind of that home run hitter, special teams possibility there, big time moments, great camp. Been a great locker room guy, great with the community. I think he's got 3 rings. He's won the Super Bowl on one of his plays, last minute type thing. And then you got Heath, who's just an absolute stud, blocking guy, hands, the possession type receiver, willing to do pretty much whatever Matt LaFleur is asking him to do. I just don't honestly know what I would do. I'm leaning more towards Hardman, and that breaks my heart because I'm such a big Malik Heath fan.
Yeah. And, it kind of goes back to the offensive line conversation we had where we're like, hey, you know what? Just carry 9 and stash 3 of those guys on the practice squad. If you do that, then you can break camp with 7 receivers as opposed to 6, right? Now, there's other positions you may want to do the same thing. So, that may X that out. But last year we did break camp with 6. So if you were to break with 6 this year, you're looking at Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavion Wicks, right? That's 4. Matthew Golden, Savon Williams. There's your 6. So your 7th, hands down, would be Malik Heath, in my opinion, right? So that's what it's going to come down to. And here's the other thing. Do any of these players start? We didn't say Christian Watson, right? So he's starting on pup, right? Would one of these other guys potentially start on pup? That's the question, too. And it kind of leads to what Packer Up says here in the chat. I don't want to take that off there. I'll leave yours up, Jacob. Packer Up in the chat. No, you're good. Leave it up. Don't lose it. He said, Savon good to go tomorrow night. Packer Up asked that. I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, we found out, I was listening to Wildy and Tausch earlier today, and they said he played his entire senior year at TCU with a torn labrum.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's why he came into camp with the shoulder harness and everything, and they went and had surgery. How tough of a SOB do you have to be to play all year long? I think that's what they said was labrum. You guys double check me on that, but I think they said torn labrum. That's insanity. And to see how physical he played.
That's what I was going to say.
Remember the Wildcat quarterback? He literally rushed into a pile, spun out of it. There was dirt kicking everywhere, like dust and those pellets kicking everywhere. And Savon comes out of the pile, and there's just bodies laying everywhere. He had torn labrum doing that. So just
He's
insane.
a mean runner. He is a mean runner with the football in his hands. And, I'm excited to see him get some touches on offense. Obviously, he was a little bit behind. I think Jordan was talking about, he missed OTAs, right, because of the injury. So him catching up in training camp, obviously a touch behind. But you got Matthew Golden there. You got another rookie that can help you. All these receivers are basically young guys that have come up and done it. And Mecole Hardman's been a savvy vet just to be there. My question is, even if we do bring in 7, who's the one that leaves when Christian Watson comes back? We're at some point going to have to thin this back down one more time. We're already having a problem cutting it to our numbers.
Right. That's a great point. Go ahead with that comment, Jacob. You pulled up there.
Yeah, Respect Orange just says Hardman's experience at the big game will help everyone else as well. I think that's a great point. We've been the youngest team now for multiple years in a row. Specifically, that wide receiver room has been very, very, very young, very unexperienced. But I would argue now that they're probably the most experienced youth group maybe in the whole NFL. I mean, they've actually seen, playoff games. We've seen some multiple, some of them have seen 13-win seasons. Some of them have seen what it takes to actually have to kind of bite some kneecaps, as Dan Campbell says, and really scrap at the end of the season to try to even make a playoff berth. So I think we got a lot of good experience, but having a guy like Mecole Hardman just dropped into that room with Super Bowl experience, winning Super Bowl experience, that is a whole different level of ball game there.
I agree, man. And again, you look at the PFF grades. I know you don't see any 80s here. You see a couple 70s. But look how steady it is, Emilio. 68, 69, 70, 68. Minimal snaps, grading out of 55. And then last year, minimal snaps, but grading out of 72. And again, like they said, the game-winning touchdown catch in the Super Bowl, like you can't put a price on that, man. And we're getting this guy for like the veteran minimum as well. Right.
Consistently better than average and consistent in his scores, which is just shows the fact that the dude is a pro, a vet, comes to work, just puts his head down, goes on the grind. The fact that he played quarterback, 1 snap backfield, 6 inline 1, slot. He's versatile. That was in 100 snaps last year. So I love that. That's an option that we can go to. I hope he kind of balls out. If he's going to be on this team, I'd love to see him kind of go off, get a little surge, get him back into the 70s and see where he goes. Yeah.
Jordan Dixon Reed in the chat says, I'm excited to see Golden. What's your all's take on Golden? What would, again, Jacob, I'm going to put the coach's hat back on you. It's raining tomorrow, right? Steady rain throughout the day, throughout the game. How many snaps are you playing our boy Matthew Golden? How many series? Let's put it that way. How many series are you playing Matthew Golden?
Honestly, I would want him to play the exact amount of snaps that Jordan Love plays.
Treat him like a vet, baby.
I really do mean it. It just right now he's flashed too well. I do not want anything hindering his success, his progression. I've seen enough in practice and drills that I believe he's the real deal. Now I want to just keep him healthy so that we have him week 1. So whatever that means, if he's comfortable, if they're comfortable having Love out there, whatever the weather may be in the scenario, I feel like they should definitely be comfortable with Golden. But the second they pull Love, I want the Golden boy to go with him too.
Yeah.
And this game specifically, right, Clay? Like we don't need to see all the vets and the the perceived first starters and all that. We don't need them for 100 reps this game. It would be the third game that we would kind of want to push them into maybe a quarter and a half, 2 quarters, something like that if they need those reps.
Yeah, Packer up says 1 series or 8 to 10 plays max, and it would be different, right, Jacob? Like if he had struggled in camp, all right, we got to get him going. We got to get him acclimated. Yep. He's been freaking dominant. So let's just kind of, you're good, man. You're going to run with the ones. And the good thing about that is, you got to kind of be careful with that stuff, especially with the young players. Sometimes if you get someone who comes in and they're somewhat cocky, like think of like a DK Metcalf when he came in the league, right? Yeah. He was this dude that just kind of had this aura about him. Like, I'm just a guy. I'm the guy, right? Not that he's a bad player or a bad person. I'm not trying to say that, but think of that type of player coming in the league. You would almost you wouldn't want to ruin him from a standpoint of, okay, we're basically letting him know he's arrived already, but you've seen the way he's carried himself, man. Like he is just all about ball, all about work, all about doing things the right way. QB1 is just raving over him. Like this dude is polished, he's legit, he's works his ass off the whole 9 yards. It would be different if he's struggling in camp. The fact that he's played so well in camp, yeah, I say run him just like he's a 1 and sit him down would be the way I would go.
Yeah, the way I would argue it is that imagine last year and before preseason even started, we knew what we had in Edger and Cooper. I would not want him out there taking multiple, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want him playing a half in the preseason game. If we really saw the type of spark that we're like, hey man, this Edge Cooper guy is going to be an absolute stud, which I don't think, I don't know if anybody even on the podcast, I don't think we had that much hopes for him. And then it was about mid-season before everybody's like, holy crap. Like it went from kind of very quiet, not a lot of press, no like real acolytes, to legitimately people saying this is a future Hall of Famer, which that was so quick. And I feel the same type of vibe towards Mr. Golden, and I don't want to screw that up in the preseason.
Right. You don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah.
Anything else on Matthew Golden there, Emilio? Anything else you want to add, man? Or maybe another receiver that you kind of like, all right, we've seen enough. We don't really have to get him out. Because I worry a little bit about Jaden Reed. Like I don't want to overuse him in the preseason either. You know what I mean? Like let's approach it from this direction, Emilio. Of all these receivers, which 3 would you like to see get the most snaps where you can get a really good look at them, do you think? If everyone's healthy.
Yeah, I'd love to get a better look at Savon, but I don't know if I want him staying in the whole game. Let me see Isaiah out there just because we brought him in. Let me see Will Shepherd
Hicks.
and I think Hicks. I was going to say Cornelius Johnson, but I would say those 3 right now. If you want me to pick 3 that I want out earlier, it would be Jaden Reed, Romeo, and Matthew Golden.
Yeah, and we're just throwing Dontavion Wicks to the side, aren't we? Like,
it's not.
Well, he's not going to play though, right?
I want to see some reps.
That's true. That's true. That's a great point, Jacob. Yeah. Go ahead, Emilio. What was you saying, man?
No, I was just saying I want to see some reps for Wicks. I want him to kind of knock off whatever that rust or whatever is kind of sitting on his shoulder right now. Just take a couple reps, take a couple hits, catch them, catch a couple crossers, whatever you need to do to make that happen. Because I want him going into the season feeling good, feeling like everyone's part of this team. They're all going to make a difference. But right now, I just don't want him to be, down or anything like that if he is.
Yeah. Hardy the Prophet with the super chat. Thank you so much, Hardy. He says, I told y'all star density equals competition plus competitive spirit. The competition is fierce, and Matt Golden's spirit is vicious, man. That's philosophical right there.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It is. Couldn't ever think of anything like that. You know what I'd say? That's the equivalent to that in my dumb language. I'd say I'm really excited about Matthew Golden. That's about all I got. So thank you for the super chat, Hardy. You're the man. What else we got, Jacob? You know what? We're already over the hour mark. Let's skip the chalk talk and let's just keep talking roster. I mean, I think this is a good conversation to have on the eve of the first preseason game. You know what I mean? That's good stuff.
I've got my final one, which was 9th. Camp battles / position battles. We did touch on this one as well earlier this week slightly, but I'm interested if anybody's opinion has changed. Stackhouse, Brinson, and Wooden. If you had to pick a guy that's off the ball, or if you could sneak 2 on, or which one of those guys do you think he could sneak on the practice squad, if any? Because I'd argue that Wooden's got too much film, Brinson's got too high a draft degree.
That's tough.
And Stackhouse has put too much hype into the preseason right now.
Let's start with what we broke camp with, all right?
Please.
We broke camp last year with 5. And keep in mind, injured reserve, designated return was Jonathan Ford. Not that it matters. I think he ended up getting poached anyway. So 5 is what we broke camp with. It was Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, Devontae White, Carl Brooks, Kobe Wooden. Go ahead, Amelia. What are you thinking?
I wanted that information before I said anything because I could sound stupid. But so we got 5 going in. Let's see. He was a 4th round pick. That is true. I mean, that's premium. That's premium there.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I remember when we went through the previous draft picks, when we went through the past 4 years prior, how many people 3 years prior on that team are still, drafted are still on the team? It wasn't a lot. So I think this is. I honestly think the preseason is going to be if Wood makes a team or not. Like, he needs to show up. And I love the dude. He saved us. He blocked a field goal. I mean, he's done the things to keep us in the game. He's had meaningful reps. With the 5, you got Devontae, Carl, Kenny. Man, and I want to say Nazir and Brinson, but Nazir and Warren, but
think about this from other teams' perspective. All right, think about it from all the other 31 teams. We're all sitting here saying, including myself, man, Nazir Stackhouse is a lock. He's a lock. He's a lock. Yeah, just put Kobe Wooden on the practice squad. If we drafted him in the 4th round, let's say there were a half a dozen other teams that had a 5th round or higher grade on him, right? He's going to be more likely to get poached than someone who was undrafted in Nazir Stackhouse. You understand what I'm saying? The only thing that's changed is camp. And believe me, the other 31 teams, they're watching camp. They're getting the updates just like we are. And they may be like, man, it's Nazir Stackhouse. We kind of felt good about him, but we passed up on him in the draft. Let's go get him. That could happen. But if I had to bet the farm and saying which one would get poached first, Kobe Wooden or Nazir Stackhouse, I would probably have to say Kobe Wooden, although I like Stackhouse better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know, man. So Coach Len is saying he'd try to get Brinson on the practice squad. Wasn't Brinson a 5th rounder, or was he a 6th?
I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, 6th rounder.
Okay. I mean,
200th selection.
And I believe, though, the other wrinkle in here wasn't the projection that Brinson would be the UDFA and that Stackhouse would actually have the higher draft grade, I believe, is what I thought that was a thing, unless I'm making that up. But
I would have thought that just without looking at the board, but let me go to the board real quick because, like I said, Stackhouse is one of those interesting takes where he was very much so a highly touted draft pick going into his last year in college, and for whatever reason, he sank out of sight.
167 is Stackhouse. East-West Shrine Game with the cheese emoji.
What's Brinson?
Brinson was right below him at 178. East-West Shrine Game, cheese emoji, heart eye emoji.
Yeah,
so they're 10 points different. They're based
one tier apart.
Yeah, 1 tier apart.
Yeah, you were right, Jacob. So we had Stackhouse 1 tier higher. Like you said, 167.2 is the grade on him. Low number of wins, guys. Warren and Brenton, 178.7.
And both of them ahead of Tonka, Hemingway, Thor Griffith, if we remember any of them when we were going through the draft.
Thor. Where'd Thor end up? I want to know. Let's get him over here.
Great question. I got to look that up myself.
Joey Slackman, Joseph Evans. I mean, there's a chunk of them that kind of went as well that were after these guys.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the weight on Wooden? Can you pull up his weight on that, Clay? Let me see if I can look it up.
I don't know how accurate it is, but on PFF they're saying 273.
That's the only thing that's steering me off of Colby. If he's not able to bulk up and get to that 300, I think that's where they might be looking at. Hey, we have and the other thing is we lost TJ.
I was just gonna say somebody's got to be that TJ Slayton replacement, and I just don't see Wooden being that guy. I really do believe that would be the Mr. Stackhouse.
Jacob's walking in there like it's Arby's. We have the beef, you know what I mean? And that's what we need out there.
Jacob, Thor Griffith was undrafted, and he was signed by the Seahawks on July 29th. It's wild. Okay. And he was one of these guys that PFF just had him through the roof.
He graded amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of where we had him on our board because I want to say he was quite a bit lower.
Thor Griffith.
No, he's right below Warren Brinson, 181.
So he's in. Gotcha. So just one tier below Warren Brinson. What is that? 3 points apart, less than 3 points apart.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Bates is saying he was waived 2 days later on the 31st. Bring that man into camp.
Jacob said, boy, when I get Madden 26, first signing I'm making. Yeah, there you go.
How are you guys liking the new Madden, by the way? I haven't asked you.
Bro.
Oh, that's what we should have had is pull up the Packers depth chart on Madden and see what the top 5 players are. And
I got something for y'all right here. We're going to go off the rails. We got Tim. Any other positions you want to get on here, Jake?
That was my 5 that turned into 9. So I thought that was a pretty good discussion. Though.
You're good at math.
Yeah.
So, listen, I want to be very clear. Madden 26, I love it. I think it's solid, man. I think it's great. However, they did our boy dirty. All right, let's just pull it up here. Matthew Golden. All right. Now, listen, I understand you can't get everybody's face scan in. I got you, right? But this is ridiculous. Look, I put this tweet out. Matthew Golden in Madden 26. I need to speak to EA Sports' manager, please. So I look how they massacred my boy. So look at Matthew Golden. Now, look at this hairline. What the hell are we doing?
What is going on?
Does this guy not look like he lives under a bridge somewhere? Like, what are we?
That is rough, dude. That is so rough.
Chuck Jagger says Matthew Luther King Jr.
It's crazy. Man. Like, this is insane, man. And listen, no Diddy. Matthew Golden.
He's a good-looking guy.
That's one of the most handsome guys you'll ever see in your life. And EA said, you know what? Yeah, that ain't good enough.
Oh, dude.
It's unbelievable. We got to save this. This is going to be a new screen grab.
Oh, man.
So we don't forget.
They did my man dirty. Absolutely.
Mark my words, when Tim jumps in here for the pregame tomorrow, he's going to go, hey, Clayton, what the hell is this picture? Why do we have this? He jumps on to me all the time because I got random stuff saved in here. But, yeah, let's go ahead and get that one stashed. So
walked into the barbershop and just said, mess my stuff up.
He said, say no more, fam.
Yeah.
So bad, man. So bad. Let's see here. I think we got it saved now. Yeah, we're good now. So anyway.
Right, do you think this is a tough look, Clay? Coop is a 79 overall. It's crazy.
Listen, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Packers fan. I had a run-in with the ratings guy at EA several years ago. And I'm going to tell you why. He's a big Cowboys fan. Okay? Big Cowboys fan. And they always had the Cowboys ratings through the roof, and the Cowboys always just choked their ass off, right? So I approached him and was just like, is somebody actually built a chart showing how much higher rated the Cowboys players are in conjunction with other players who were drafted higher? And I responded to him and said, how big of an ego do you have to convince yourself that you understand the value and the talent of NFL players more than the teams that draft them? Because in my opinion, yeah, teams miss. They miss. I get it. But to go in and go, no, they got that one wrong. This guy's way better than that. What kind of egomaniac do you have to be? And he said his response was, well, GMs get it wrong all the time. We stand by our work. So I did a little background check. I'm like, who is this guy? Like, what makes him so qualified to do the ratings? The dude was a valet. He parked cars at a hotel for a living and was working for EA, literally building the ratings. It was just like, and then it was shortly after that, they got Chad Ochocinco involved. And I'm not saying I sparked that. I know I didn't. But you could tell everybody was, literally going at this guy so hard. Well, guess what happened? They went out, well, we better get a former player to come in and help us with this, right? So as if Chad Ochocinco understands what.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody on the Packers is deserving of the 99 club at this moment, Clay? And Jacob?
On the Packers? No, not at all.
Okay. That's fair.
And here's the thing about the Edgerrin Cooper talk. Let's go back to the hairline. I like it. So with the Edgerrin Cooper talk, is 79 low? I want to say as a Packer fan, but also keep in mind it was 1 year. He played 1 year. Guys, there's a chance. I know people are going to get mad at me, but this is just how I think. There's a chance he takes a huge step back. What he did last year was damn near historic. Like, to think it's one of two things. he's either going to be an all-time great or that was just a flash that, hey, he's never going to be able to live up to that again. It's not going to be anything in between, in my opinion. He's going to meet that and exceed it, or he's going to take a step back and still could be a good player. So 1 year in the league, what do you think the rating should be if 79 is too low? You know, like the number I'm coming up with is like maybe an 83, something like that, right? Boom, J. Cole, 82. I would be okay with that. That feels a little more like what I would give him if I were doing the ratings. But 79 is now if he came in at like a 74 or 75. Let me give you another example. Aaron Banks. They got Aaron Banks at a 75. So Goody going out and paying him all that money. Think of how good Goody has been at identifying offensive linemen. Think about this for a second. Zach Tom in the 4th round, right? Stud. Think about what the Packers have done in the past 4th round, David Bakhtiari, right? Elton Jenkins in the 2nd round, if I remember correctly. Been just a pro's pro, right? So Goody goes out. Now think of how good Goody's been in free agency, not just offensive line, but just think in general, right? Xavier McKinney, home run. Josh Jacobs, home run. Zadarius Smith, home run. Preston Smith, home run. Adrian Amos at the time for 2 or 3 years, home run. So the Packers go out and go, Aaron Banks is worth big money. Let's go give him the money. And EA has got this ego like, oh, he's only a 75. I can't get on board with that.
So, Jacob, let me ask you this. How many players do you think are deserving of being like over a 90 overall on the Packers?
No. Honestly, X and maybe Jacobs. So I'd say 2.
And I know you didn't look at the ratings because I know you don't even really work the old Xbox like that. Yeah, you are spot on. X is 93 overall. Josh Jacobs is a 90 overall. That's it that we have over 90s. That's it.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I mean, besides
what's our highest receiver ranking?
Our highest receiver is Jaden Reed at an 81.
Oof. Okay. I mean, I think honestly that's fair too. Cody McDougal's asking. Tom should be up there. Where's Tom at?
Our boy Zach Tom is an 87 overall, right behind Elton Jenkins at an 87.
I'll take that.
And to me, I think Elton is a little overrated. I think Adrian Cooper's a little underrated. I think Zach Tom is underrated. I would have Zach Tom at about a 90, and I would have Elton Jenkins at like an 83.
Right. Jacob, what is Jordan Love's overall? Give me
it's really good.
What do I want it to be, or what I think it really is?
What do you think it is?
78.
Ooh, wow, you got no love for the man.
Dang.
What is it?
83.
Okay.
Sit your butt outside.
The rest of the team after that, if we go, okay, we said Tom and Elton. After that, 83 is Jordan Love. Kenny Clark, 83. Rashawn is an 82. Jaden Reed, 81. Hobbs, 81. Rasheed Walker, 80. Then you got Coop at 79. Quay at 79. Romes at 79. Tucker Kraft at 79. Christian Watson at 78. McMoney is 77.
Oh, what?
Keyshawn 76. Matthew Golden's already a 76. Aaron Banks 75. Devontae Wyatt 75. Wicks 75. Bull 75.
So to me, the most overrated number there is Kenny Clark at, what does he say, 83?
83.
That to me don't jive.
But I also think the name carries a lot, right? In Madden, the name gives you a couple points for sure. It really does.
Yeah. I felt like Rashawn Gary needed to be an 85, somewhere around that range. When the other NFL players rank him 68, was it 68? Am I thinking right? Yeah, 68th best player in the league, I think it was. I think it's 68. It might have been 80, actually. Regardless, he's in the top 100, and you got other guys that didn't sniff the top 100 according to the players.
Right.
And they're ranked significantly higher than Gary. That's just really odd to me. Evan Williams, we're getting requests now.
Chat is asking what Evan Williams is ranked.
Gotcha.
This is going to hurt you right here, boys. This is going to hurt you.
It's tough. Evan Williams is a 73. Carrington's a 74. Daniel Whelan's a 74. Isaiah Simmons is a 74. LVN is a 74.
Oof, that's tough.
Most of the team.
Wait a minute. Brenton Cox Jr.
Oh, it's going to hurt you bad. It's going to cut you.
Let me get all the way down to the bottom here.
No, they got no love for Cox.
66.
Oh, that's dirt. That's dirt.
You know who's ahead of him? Katano Ladapo, 67. Colby Ward.
Who? All right, hold on. Here's the big question. Oh, no, not him.
Travis Glover.
Oh, boy. They were actually worried about putting him on there, so we just had to be careful. He's actually holding up the bottom here at 64. Not the worst, though. You got John Fitzpatrick, 63, Welch, 63. Telford's a 61. So obviously Glover would have made the roster. Duh. Telford's a 61. But
What do you
Sean
think
Clifford
No, don't say it, Amelia. I want to get Jacob's guess. What do you think Sean Clifford is?
59.
Oh, too
57.
much love, Jacob. 57.
Oh, Lord.
57.
Come on.
They gave him 84 speed, though. They said that guy can run.
Scoot.
He got the same speed as Jordan.
Now think about this. Brandon McManus, right? Strong leg kicker. You guys remember that's kind of what he was known for. Last year, if you did a minimal snap count or a minimal kick count, he had the best field goal percentage in the entire league, right? Guess what his rating was?
75.
77. That pissed me off. I'm like, how is he not above an 80, 85-ish? Am I wrong, Emilio?
Yeah, no, I thought so. I mean, you can't break 80 for my man. He came in and missed one kick all season, basically.
Yeah. Daniel Whelan, 74.
They stand with their numbers, though, Clay. They stand on them. They do have Matt Orzage in here as a long snapper, which is pretty impressive.
It is cool, man. Yeah.
He's a 61 overall, though.
Chuck was just asking.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right. Well,
61 as well. So, and they don't have Nazir Stackhouse in the game yet. So,
gotcha.
Unbelievable.
Get on that, Madden.
I think we've covered it all, boys. I think we did good tonight. Right?
I think so, too.
Got us a new screen grab. Bang, we're ready to roll.
That is actually funny. Okay, Jacob, one last one, Jacob. What's Malik's overall?
Oh, that's going to hurt me too, probably, huh? So you didn't list him. What they got him at, like a 63 or something like that?
65. But
His
speed, 90. Read options all day long.
Really?
Would you want him to have 95?
No, I mean, I guess I thought even 90 was pretty considerate.
That is good speed. I mean, they're saying he's faster than Kalen King, same speed as Emmanuel Wilson. So I think that's pretty fair.
So, Matthew Golden runs a 4.240, right? What do you think his speed is, Jacob?
I mean, it would have to be a 99, right? 98?
Lower.
95?
Lower.
Are you kidding me? See, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Oh!
I said spit. I said bull spit.
I was about to do it, man.
Sit your butt outside.
That's ridiculous. Like, how do they even...
And every year, watch this, the last 2 years, you can go pull any trailers, any TV spots for the advertising of the Madden game. Every time the Packers are on the ad, the commercial, getting cooked, getting scored on, somebody breaking a tackle.
Yeah, the Bears are sacking Jordan Love like they know how to pass rush or anything. Like, no, come on.
Yeah. A-Fam says Sean Clifford Rankin might start a civil war. He should at least be
65%.
65%. That's what you know what I'm saying?
Just about to hit that.
All right, this show sucks.
Yeah.
So let's get out of here. Anything else, boys?
Christian Watson's speed is a 96. Get up and go, man.
Hey, that'll work at least.
And it surprised me. One that did surprise me, Jaden Reed, they had it at a 94 speed.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was impressive. And I think they've got Malik Willis' speed at a 91, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right. That's it, guys. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. What time's kickoff, guys? 7 Central, am I thinking right?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to go live around 6 p.m. Central tomorrow for a pregame show. We'll take you guys all the way up to kickoff, and then immediately following the game, we'll jump back in here for a postgame show. We'll stay up way later than we should for a preseason game. But, hey, it's football season, baby. That's what we do. Benny Day, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for swinging through, man. You guys are awesome. I want to give a special shout-out to the super chats as well. Clint, the armchair quarterback with the 20 spot. Hardy with the 5. Thank y'all so much, man. We really
I just wanted to hit that, Clay. We didn't hit it earlier. But Darren John said, this season upon us. You guys have made this offseason fly by. I love this show. Thanks for all you do, boys. Go, Pack, go.
You guys have made it fly by. I'm telling you, man. You always think us, and you know, it's like, oh, well, they got to say it back. No, I'm serious. Like, knowing that we're going to have the crowd in here every single episode that we do, it makes me want to do the show just to get in here and talk football with you guys and pass the time by on the off season as well. So Want to make the announcement. The Wicks card is going to go to Dave Colvin. We never heard from Jacob Clay, I don't believe. Donovan Schilling, we never heard from.
Neither of you texted each other saying that
was it you, Jacob? Was it you or no?
No.
Okay. I don't know if I believe you. Rich Beck is getting the autographed Luke Musgrave card. And then tomorrow for the post-game show, we're going to be giving away an autographed Luke Musgrave card, okay? If you're going, hey, man, I'd like to get a chance to win that. One of two ways you can do it. The one I recommend is be a part of our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. There's a $3 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier. They all get you the same thing. So the $3 tier gets you entered into the giveaways, get you access to the extra content, the chats, all that stuff. If you want to be generous and do do one of the higher ones, that's totally cool. Best promotion ever here. If put it back up there, Emilio. When you guys join the Patreon group, and that little, do you think that $3 is just nothing? It prevents me from having my hair lined up like that. So just know that. Now, if you're not familiar with Patreon, you're like, man, I'm just on YouTube. There's a join tab there. If you click that join, I think it's around the same amount, $2 or $3. That gets you entered into the giveaways as well. So we're going to take everybody who's a member on YouTube or the Patreon group and the Patreon group, put everybody on the Larry McCarron pinky wheel, spin it, and we're going to give away the autographed Lucas Van Ness card tomorrow. Lucas Van Ness autograph card. And I'm telling you, boys, I think Lucas Van Ness is about to blow up this year. So, anything else? Good.
Let me see that picture one more time, Emilio.
I got you.
It looks like his barber is going through the withdrawals. You know what I mean? He had a little shaky.
Dude, one time I went and get a haircut. My barber broke his wrist. He gave me the one all over, man. He messed me up bad. He messed me up real bad.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
All right. There you go. We just lost 3 subs.
Oh, for sure. Sorry about that.
For sure.
Appreciate everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central, for a PTA Live pregame show. Appreciate you, iRock. Good to see you in here. Put iRock's picture back up there. Put iRock back up there one more time. I would kill to have hair like this, dude. Look at my guy. Put it back up there, man. Put that chat back up there. We'll get to Brenton.
Which one? Which one?
Oh, I got you.
iRock. Look at that. You kidding me? Look at them locks right there, bro.
Woo.
I can't see.
Ladies, man. You kidding me? Got them lined up around the block. I guarantee it. Appreciate you, iRock. You're the man. Brenton, Indiana, with the super chat, with the thumbs up. Appreciate you, Brent. I know you've been here from the beginning, man. You're awesome. So,
actually, AFAM, they're Falcos, but yeah, I do.
all right, that's enough of this. We're out here. Appreciate y'all.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.